Hey bitches, welcome back to another episode of Confessionals. Today's episode, I'm going to continue with the mental health talk. I want to talk about self love because I realized that whenever there's an issue with your actions, with the way that you feel about yourself, it all has to do with the concept of self, with how you treat yourself, with the beliefs that you have about yourself. It all just narrows down to self love, is what I've learned. When I look back at my life, I realize that the moments where I disappointed myself, where I fell short, with the boundaries like I should establish within myself, with the relationships I have with other people, it's always come down to a lack of self-love. Even when I've thought that I really love myself or that I'm doing my best, which I was and are, but yeah, it always just comes down to that. That's the fucking point. And in today's episode, I'm going to give a one-on-one 101 101 guide to self love. These are just the things that I've done to achieve the level of confidence that I have right now, to, get here where I can truly say in full confidence and I'm so 100% sure that I do love myself because I no longer stand for the things I used to tolerate, like at all. In fact, they make me want to throw up. They make me sick. Like texting an ex, it actually makes me fucking sick to my stomach. I've already exhausted all of my texting ex's faces. Like the resources that I had, the energy that I had for that kind of thing is absolutely gone. I am repulsed by it and I want nothing to do with it. And that's all because I have taken actions to better myself, to heal, to do all the shit that I talk about in this podcast. So, yeah, for this episode, I'm just going to give some brief background, which, if you listen to confessionals, you've probably already heard before. So, I'm going to keep it brief. I'm going to talk about the things that you need to do, like step by step, from awareness to aligned actions to shadow work, all that stuff. I'm going to go in order. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get this episode started. All right, so once upon a time, I used to hate myself, and it started when I was really young, like 3 years old. I've said the story before when I remember being 3, looking in the mirror and crying because I thought that I was ugly. I thought I was like the most disgusting thing to have ever lived on the planet. And that stemmed from my childhood, from watching the women in my life talk down on themselves, talk down on other women. The standards for beauty and the importance placed on beauty had an effect on me even like that young at 3 years old. And ever since then, my self-esteem has been a battle. A battle. I kind of had a glimmer of hope when I was a preteen, which is weird because that's when you experience a lot of self-image issues, but and I did have a lot of self-image issues. I thought that I was ugly still, but I had a glimmer of hope because I told myself I'm still a child and when I grow up, I'm going to be very beautiful. I literally I didn't pray to Aphrodite, but I felt like looking back, it kind of seemed like I was praying to Aphrodite. I was like, Aphrodite, give me beauty. Like, I just want to be super beautiful. I would look at beautiful women and I'd be like, wow, like, I want to look like that. Like, so beautiful. Like, they would inspire me. And after I aged out of my preteen years, it kind of all came back. Like I didn't really feel beautiful. And even up until like my early 20s, I fluctuated in weight. I was in toxic relationships. I tolerated so much bullshit. I had Stockholm syndrome with my mother, who treated me very horribly. And, my mom wasn't the type of mom to like say that I was ugly or anything like that because I wasn't, but she would always be hypercritical of everything else that I was doing. Like if I ate wrong, if I walked the wrong way, if I acted in some sort of like unladylike way, she was very, very controlling. So I felt like I didn't have an identity. Like I wanted to, every time I tried to cling on to the identity that I knew was mine, it was challenged, and there was strong opposition. And not only from my mom, but from like other people that I had attracted into my life out of the trauma. So there's been a lot of unlearning to do with self-love, with like lack of self-love and self-respect, lots and lots of learning. So that's what I'm going to talk about. The first step, the first step to going towards that path of self-love is awareness. Awareness, just like anything else. If you're an alcoholic, if you have any sort of addiction, you first have to be aware of the problem. And hating yourself is an addiction. It's addictive. It's addictive to cling on to beliefs in your minds because those beliefs create habits. Those beliefs create feelings. Those beliefs create actions. So whenever you have habits already ingrained in your mind, those become addictive. And that's a problem. So the first step is to be aware of that problem and just look at it. Just admit to yourself that you don't love yourself, that you haven't respected your own boundaries, that you've let other people cross your boundaries, that you've let other people treat you like shit, that you've accepted less than what you deserve, etc. On and on and on. You look at the problem. And that's it. I think you just kind of have to sit with it for a while, and a key ingredient to this is to do it without judgment, because there's no perfect person on the planet. There, even the people that grew up with the best upbringing, with the best parents, still probably had to endure some type of trauma. Like I work with kids, and I worked with kids that have amazing parents that care about them, love them, and they're healthy. Like, the upbringing is healthy, but the issues that these kids have at school is like, oof, it's not pretty sometimes. So that can bring up other issues that have nothing to do with your home life. So it's, things stem out of the most random places. And sometimes things also stem out of things that you're not even aware of. Like, I didn't know that my environment was toxic. I didn't know that it was chaotic. But like now that I look back, I'm like, wow, like getting beat all the time, getting told I was stupid, yelling, moving a million times in like 1 year, like that's pretty chaotic. So sometimes you're not aware of these things. And the first step is to be aware that you have negative feelings, that there's things that need to be fixed. And even if you don't know what they are, you just have to be aware of that feeling and that there's something wrong. And yeah, like that's the first step. And the key, again, is being very gentle, being kind, because nobody is fucking perfect. Everybody has these issues. So be kind to yourself when you bring this up. Second thing that you must do is do your best to kind of untangle them. Be like, okay, like I feel bad every time somebody cuts a meeting with me short. Like if I'm hanging out with somebody and they have to go, I always feel like triggered, like bad. So try to untangle these triggers and ask why. Like why do I have this issue? Like now that I'm aware of it, like I started asking those questions. And if you're fortunate enough to afford therapy, to seek out therapy services, trust me, this is what helped me. I didn't do it alone. I mean, I did a lot of work alone, but therapy really like sped up my progress like light speed. It helps so much. So, yeah, and it helped me untangle. Like a therapist guides you through the untangling of these issues. So ask why. Like, why am I getting triggered? And a very important question that I ask myself now after therapy, this is something I learned there, is what is the belief behind this trigger? What is the belief? Like if I get triggered that somebody leaves early or has to go, I automatically feel like, oh, they don't want to hang out with me. So what's the belief behind getting so worked up about they don't want to hang out with me? The belief could be that you feel unlovable, that you feel unworthy, that people hate you because you are trash. Like that, those could be the beliefs that are activated by this action that may not even be about you. And so the thing with healing is that once you heal, even if these things were to be about you, you wouldn't get so worked up because your beliefs about yourself are now positive. And even if this person doesn't like you, even if this person believes that you're trash, you already believe that you are not trash, that people have fun in your presence, that it's like it's simple. It's simple. You don't have to conform to other people's beliefs about yourself. You're already so grounded in your beliefs that that doesn't really affect you. Now, sometimes it might hurt you if it's from someone that you love and care about, but if it's just from anybody, it doesn't matter. And if it's from somebody that you're close to, then you would question it. You'd be like, "Hey, like what was up with that?" And the emotional stability would be there. It wouldn't be like this spike up and then this down and these lows. Like everything is pretty baseline once you reach mental health. But being aware of these issues is what's going to get you there. Being aware of those triggers and asking what is the belief behind them, that helps. The third thing is sitting down with the feeling, the shitty feeling again. Like once you become aware of it, that brings up, there's so many shitty fucking feelings that come with this, but you just have to sit with them and let it be uncomfortable. So you become aware of the issue. You ask why. You ask what is the belief. And then you just feel it. You cry it out. You sit with the negative belief. I went through a breakup that I've mentioned a million fucking times. And that breakup came at a point in my healing journey where I was already like pretty evolved, right? But that was a challenge because I healed a lot during that relationship. So the breakup was a test to see how much I actually healed not having that relationship anymore. So when I was crying and throwing up because I was so heartbroken and sad that I was no longer with this person, it triggered a lot of beliefs. It triggered a lot of abandonment wounds and that was my biggest fear with this person is like, I'm getting abandoned. Like I have a had a deep abandonment wound because both my parents pretty much, my dad abandoned me. My mom neglected me, abandoned me emotionally. Same thing with partners. Like I always sought out partners that were either really toxic and controlling and then would abandon me and like when I needed them the most or just would abandon me, period. So that breakup triggered that wound. And even though I had a lot of closure from this person, like this person was so did me dirty, but he was very responsible when it came to like mending what he did wrong. And he gave me that closure of, like it explaining why he broke up with me, it really in detail to the best that he could. So even though I had that closure that not a lot of people get, and I had that communication and that openness, I still felt unlovable. Even though my conscious self knew that I am lovable, that I'm a bad bitch, that people are lucky to be in my presence, that my friends love me, even though I consciously knew all those things, because this breakup was it shook me to my core because it was so kind of chaotic, it altered my hidden subconscious beliefs of being unlovable, of abandonment. And the main thing that really helped me, knowing all these steps already from therapy of awareness, asking why, what is the belief, and then just sitting with the belief. So I felt like shit. I was crying and throwing up. And I really felt when your stomach sinks and you're just like, oh, like I say crying and throwing up for a reason because the bad feeling goes all the way to your stomach. I felt it in my body where it was located in my body. And the thought was, he abandoned me. This person abandoned me. And I felt so angry and I felt so sad. And I asked myself, what is the belief? with this abandonment feeling. And the belief was that people don't love me, that yeah, again, that like I'm unlovable, that people don't want to be with me, that I'm not good enough. And even though I knew in my head that those things are not true, I had to respect my subconscious mind speaking up. Whenever there's bad things that come to the surface, we tend to do one or two things. We tend to suppress them and say like, no, that's negative, no negative thoughts, nothing. Or we tend to put them on a pedestal and be like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, I'm that, like, I hate myself, whatever, it is the way that it is. And imagine if you had a child telling you, I'm a piece of shit, I hate myself. How would you treat a child like that? Would you ignore a child? Would you be like, oh, no, 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 honey, you're too negative, stay away from me, little 5-year-old kid, stay away? Would you do that? No, bitch, you would not do that. Or would you say like, yeah, you kind of are a piece of shit? Would you talk like that to a child? Would you talk like that to yourself? No. So when your subconscious mind tells you information that is uncomfortable, you sit there and you fucking listen. Because that is your child self speaking to you and telling you how you feel, how they feel, and that their feelings are hurt. So when I was in this moment, I remember exactly. I was like on my bed, literally like scrunched down like this, sobbing, hyperventilating, on the verge of fucking throwing up from so much crying. I asked myself, what is the belief? Unworthy, not good enough. And I literally just like screamed it out. I screamed into a pillow and I just let it out. Like I'm even feeling like the rage and like the hotness on my face from the release that I had. I listened. I knew what I heard my subconscious. I heard that bitch. I heard her talk and I let it out. I let her have her moment because she deserves it. I didn't ignore her. And I didn't tell her that that belief was true because that would be a huge disservice to myself. This is probably the most important part, honestly, of like of self-love because you have to purge out negative things and you don't purge them out by believing them or by suppressing them. You have to let them exist. Let them exist. The difference between letting them exist and believing them is that when you let them exist, they leave. They know they cease to exist. You have to let it exist so it ceases to exist. And yeah, like once I let that shit out and once I heard my subconscious, like my trauma, like my child self speaking, those like deep rooted beliefs, it was gone. I finished crying and I no longer felt that way. And it was crazy. And I didn't cry like that again. I mean, I cried still, but it was more sort of like mourning the loss than the negative beliefs about myself. And it was great. So, yeah, this is probably the most important part after asking yourself what the belief is just it's just sitting with it. And a lot of the time when we're trying to manifest, we think that we shouldn't have any negative thoughts, but that's just crazy. Like, we're human beings, we're gonna have negative thoughts. The key is how quick and how well do you return to baseline after you have a spike in emotion, especially negative emotion. How quick are you to recover? And the truth is that there's only one way, and that is feeling it. Because if you suppress it, guess what? You're shaky. You're shaky. Your vibe is shaky. You're not where you're meant to be. There's literally no other way but to go through the emotion. And the next thing, I forgot how many steps we were in, but I will write them down somewhere. The next thing is asking yourself, what do I want the positive belief to be? What is a positive belief? And for in this example that I gave, it's literally just the opposite. It's that I'm lovable, that I'm good enough, that I'm a great person, that people feel lucky to be around me. And the people that feel worthy of me are the ones that are going to have the capacity to keep me in their lives. That is the belief that I cling to now. And after I let it all out, I held on to that. I held on to that and I established an identity. This is also, I guess, this is like a two for one, a twofer. is you ask yourself what you want the positive belief to be. You say it, you believe it. And in the grander scheme of things, you establish an identity. So, what do I want my identity to be? Because when it comes to self love, a lot of the times the reason we don't have it or we lack it is because we don't have a clear sense of identity. And sometimes all we have to do is just decide, literally, just decide what your identity is going to be. Most people I can't really relate to this, but this is what I hear from a lot of people is that they've never really known who they are, that they are in the constant state of discovering who they are. And the truth is that you don't discover who you are. You can approach your identity with curiosity and see what you like and you don't like. You can get to know yourself, discover yourself. But when it comes to identity, identity is more rooted in values and in actions. And those things you choose, those things you decide. You decide your values, you decide your actions, and you decide your beliefs. Everything else is discovery. But those three components are what make you who you are, your character, your identity, the way you carry yourself. And yeah, like, I mean, my values, I've always known that I have a value of kindness, of helping others, of wanting to do like the best, be of service. Even though I've had trouble sometimes honoring the identity that I feel is most authentic to me, I still know what that is and I just come back to her. So even when you derail from that path, your identity is established and you can always come back to that identity. So values of kindness, of serving others, of making this world a better place. That has always been a part of what I've chosen to do even as a child. For some reason, I just decided early. That's it. But you can decide at any point in your life. Second is actions. How do you treat others? What do you do for your community? What do you do for yourself? How do you show up in the world? Do you go work out because you want to be healthy? What kind of food do you eat? How do you speak to others? How do you speak to yourself? Your actions are the second core part of your identity. And again, those are choices. You have the power, you have autonomy, you can do anything, really. Like, and it can be hard to apply, but the concept is simple. It is very simple. And once you get into the groove of applying it, easy, easy peasy. And the third thing is beliefs. And beliefs is probably should go number one because beliefs are the foundation of your values and your actions. So, what is it that you believe? Do you believe in the goodness of people? Do you believe in the goodness of yourself? Do you believe that you are worthy of love, of community, of friends, of family? Do you feel like you are worthy of those things? How do you view other people? So, you first have to get your beliefs in order, really, because sometimes we're not even aware of like what we believe about the world and about ourselves. So you have to get that shit in order first because then if not, it's going to drive you to confusion. And even if you have a hard time believing what you choose to believe, you're on that path now. You want to believe something good. You want to believe something positive. So you have to commit to those beliefs, and those beliefs are going to drive your actions. The beliefs and your values are going to drive your actions, and that's going to build self-esteem. That's going to build self-love. And I really hope this helps somebody because this is really what has helped me. And my journey has been a little bit chaotic. Um, yeah, it's been pretty chaotic because I didn't have therapy for years, for most of my 20s. I didn't have therapy. I wasn't diagnosed until my late 20s, and it was an uphill battle helping myself. And I wish I would have had somebody at least condense these things and make them simple and easy to understand when I didn't have therapy, because this whole time that I was struggling, I'm like, how do I love myself? Like, how do I become happier? How do I become more fulfilled? Like, I had no guidance whatsoever up until therapy. And even though I looked at all this self-help stuff, nothing really helped because it's all almost always pretty abstract. Like you have to love yourself. Like they don't really explain what self-love is. And that's at the core. Like, yeah, you can listen to somebody tell you that you have to work out, that you have to do all these actions, that you have to, go out and have courage and be strong and disciplined. You can believe those things are real. They're true. But that's at the surface. That's just a byproduct of self-love. That's a byproduct of the internal motivation that can't be moved, that only stems out of positive beliefs that you are worthy of that reality. And nobody really teaches you about what's underneath because once you establish that, everything is easy. It's so much easier. For a long time, when I came to LA, I didn't want to post on TikTok. I didn't want to post on social media. And sometimes I did. It was like fluctuating up and down because I didn't really know if that's what I wanted to do. And there was a lot of shit going on up here, bitch. It was messy in here. It was messy in here. So I made a lot of excuses. I'm like, oh no, I want to be an actress. I don't want to be a TikToker. I want to be an actress. And let me tell you that I was sabotaging myself, that I was limiting myself. And we do that. Now I see it so clearly because acting is not what it's amped up to be, first of all. Do I still love it? Yes. Am I still gonna do it? Yes. Is that still on my mood board, on my vision board? Absolutely it is. But I'm not gonna limit myself to pursue acting just one way, the traditional way, because I don't want to be all these other things. Like I don't want to be a writer. I don't want to be a social media influencer. I don't want to be the bitch. I want to be whatever my highest self guides me. And now I've learned that I'm still actually learning like how to be comfortable in the uncertain. Now that I have fixed and mended all of these broken parts of me that had to do with beliefs and actions and values, now that I've established like a really solid sense of identity and self-love, especially self-love, I have an overflow of creative energy. I'm posting on TikTok so many fucking times a day. That's all I think about because it is such an accessible form to grow and make money and get visibility. So why wouldn't I do it? It's literally a huge door that's being opened. It's an opportunity writing. Like these things I can do here at home. Like it's so easy to do when your system is clear of the bullshit. And because I cleared my system, because I cleansed myself, because I had enough love to clean all the grimy shit that was in my heart, now there's room for flow. And that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna act. That just means that I actually wanna act, like more so than ever now. Like I wanna, even though I have all these things going on, I want to do things the way that I want to do them. And now I see when big doors are open. Like before, I would see an open door and I would kind of like look around and be like, oh, I don't really like this door. And literally, God and the universe are like, bitch, we opened this big ass door for you. Why are you not going through it? Like, I went viral a decent amount of times in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Even every year I went viral, like at least a few times, which may not be a big deal because a lot of people go viral nowadays, but to me, it is a big deal because I've looked back at my videos and I'm like, why didn't I juice that? I remember when my videos would go viral, I would complain. I would be like, oh, it only went viral because it's a trend. Oh, it only went viral because I'm talking about this one thing. I don't want to get pigeonholed into this like one thing that I'm talking about. I was negative. I was negative because I was sabotaging myself because I believed that the world didn't want to look at my other more valuable parts or what I considered more valuable, like my speaking. Like I thought, oh, they don't want to see that. Like that's why this is happening. I don't want to go through this door because they're never going to see it. Bitch, how the fuck would I know? I haven't even gone in the fucking door to see if they would see it or not. Like I was sabotaging myself without knowing it. And now I'm just posting so much shit. Like every idea that I get, boom, boom, post, 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 post. Like, and it's easy. It's in a flow state. And if people see it, good. If people don't see it, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because I have a goal, because I have a vision. And this door is so fucking wide. It lets so many people in, so many people thrive. Like, why wouldn't I take advantage of it? Like, it's so many people fucking thrive. Like, that's how accessible it is. So I would be dumb, and I was dumb to not take advantage of that. But guess what? I'm no longer dumb because I've done the work, bitch. I've done the motherfucking work. So I hope that this is inspiration to cleanse your system, bitch, so you could let things flow. And so that you don't say no to things that you don't even know if they're what you want. I would be blessed to be a TikTok influencer. I would be blessed to make some money on there. Like, bitch, why the fuck not? Why not? Why not? Like, it just, it, like, there's really no reason. Like, the excuses I was giving myself were just ridiculous. So, watch yourself, check yourself. And I'm a testament that once you do that inner work, like everything in your mind shifts. Instead of looking at negatives, like your default is positive. It's positive. Like I've already gone viral. Like I've been posting for like 2.5, 3 weeks consistently, and I've gone viral twice. Like mini viral, but I've gone viral. And actually three times because I upload on YouTube Shorts also, and one of them, it's so funny because little side note, I two of my talking videos got like pretty decent traction on TikTok, and but my sexy hot girl videos didn't, and I was like, oh, TikTok thinks I'm ugly. Whatever, they don't value me. I started posting all of my TikToks on YouTube and Instagram, and literally a face one where I'm just like singing the Pink Panther song, like 50K views, like 50 or 6 no 81K views, and like 7,000 likes, something like that. So and now and from that I got 1,000 subscribers. So I'm one step closer to getting monetized on YouTube. I just need, like, I need something else. I think I need some more views on shorts or something like that. I need one more thing become monetizing, being able to monetize on YouTube. So bitch, like, just do the damn thing. Just fucking do it. And one thing that helps me, like, I know I'm kind of like going off a tangent, but one thing that helps me, and that this is so important when you're loving yourself, you're putting in work and you want to see return, right? Part of it is you have to detach from the outcome because it's not even about the outcome. And it's so crazy because we hear this, we know this, but I want to make the distinction, and I'm touching my head because like I'm a visual person. We have to make the distinction between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is what drives you. The conscious mind is what you hear and what you think you know, but your subconscious mind is your deep rooted beliefs. And that is what drives you. You could say you want to be healthy, that you're working on self-care, self-love. You could say that with your words. You could think it. You could believe it to some extent. But if your depth, if the depths of your soul, if your subconscious doesn't believe that, you're not going to make the actions and you're not going to feel the way that a healthy, conscious person does. Period. So, yeah, you have to detach from the outcome because it's never about the outcome. It's about who you are. Who you are. And the outcomes reflect that. Like I just walked in the door. I just walked in that big door that I was talking about. I just barely walked in. Like I'm 3 steps in, bitch. And I'm seeing all the seeds that I've planted. And there's little plants everywhere, but like the flowers are not fully blooming yet. Like I see little flowers and I focus on those little flowers because I'm like, oh, like that's like, I did that, like I planted that seed and it's growing, even though they're little. Like I'm so grateful for the little things. And I focus on that instead of focusing on like, oh, I want this huge garden filled with flowers. That's gonna happen, dude. Like that's gonna fucking happen. I'm doing the work and it's already good enough the way that I feel inside. Like that's where you have to be at. The way you feel inside has to be good enough, even when your outside is not reflecting it. Because you live in here. A bunch of shit could happen out there, but you live in here. You live in your body, and that is the goal. If you are still attached to the outcome, your subconscious is still believing that your happiness is dependent on the external. And no, that just defeats the purpose of everything that I'm talking about. Your internal world has to be full, fulfilled, happy, content. You have to become that person, because that person that has the outcome that you desire already feels like that inside. So you have to connect to that internal feeling before you have the outcome. The outcome comes. And sometimes, dude, sometimes it looks different. Sometimes it looks different than what you imagine. Sometimes it looks better. Like, you never know. And a message that I've been getting a lot, that I've actually been getting like all year long since the beginning of the year, is be comfortable in the uncertain. Like, that's where the fun in life is in the uncertainty. Because, like I said, I had gone through this heartbreak, and I was going to call up my psychic and be like, yo, girl, what's up? Like, give me some guidance. Let me know what's going to happen. And I had already reached out to her before, and she's always right. She's like, she'll tell you like, oh, this person's going to reach out to you in a certain amount of time happens. Like, she's on it. But yeah, I was like, she's so good, like I need to reach out to her, like see what the fuck is going on. And I heard a voice telling me, be comfortable in the uncertain. And I didn't call her. And dude, biggest lesson this year. Biggest lesson this year. After you establish your identity, after you do the internal work, everything on the outside is going to unfold. It's going to unfold. It's going to happen. And you have to stay committed, because the thing about healing is that you hear this a lot. It's not linear. It's not like this. And it's not like this, like, no, it is like if you're on YouTube, you're watching me do my illustration. But yeah, it's not linear. But it does spike up and then it dips. It spikes up and then it dips. It spikes up and then it dips like fucking low as hell. And then it spikes up really, like, it could look any sort of way. But it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. And one thing that I've learned that has helped me commit to my identity and to the work that I'm doing to love myself is that the dips are not failure. It's just fucking part of the process. And we know this. We know this, right? But I'm going to explain this in a way that helped me. So you are here. You are low. You're in the pits of hell. And you decide to do the work. Question your beliefs, you enroll yourself in the gym or whatever the case may be. You do some sort of action that helps you. So it spikes up. You feel better. You feel better. And then some shit hits the fan, or there's no reason. You just feel like shit. So you dip again. And then you persist. So you're boom, 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 boom. You're going up again, up again, up again. Boom, you dip. Something happens. Your ex texts you. Your mom yells at you. Your siblings talk shit. Whatever. You dip. The thing about these dips is that the dips are never going to be as low as the rock bottom. They might feel like they're that low or that they're lower, but they're not. It goes up and then it dips. And when you are in that low place, in that dip, it's gonna feel shitty, because like, think about when you go down a roller coaster, your stomach sinks. Like, it's not really, sometimes, I mean, some people like it, I like it, but overall it's a weird feeling. It's scary. It doesn't feel good. So it dips, but you have a different perspective. You're still higher than at rock bottom. The reason why it feels like you're lower is because it's a dip after a high. Like, you got a high and then you got a low. So you feel unstable. You question your progress, but you have a different perspective. And when you're at those lows, you kind of have to ask yourself, what can I do? What did I learn from this uphill? What is this trying to teach me? Why did I get low again? How did that happen? Is there a belief that I need to address that I haven't noticed? Uh, is there something different that I need to do? Should I just keep doing? You question yourself with grace. And sometimes we just feel like shit. And like, women, like, we get our periods. Like, sometimes, like, this is how our cycles are, literally. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. Sometimes it's hormones, the weather. Sometimes there's legitimate reasons. But you just have to treat that moment with grace. And the greatest enemy to progress is frustration, in my opinion. Like getting frustrated is a double-edged sword because sometimes you have to get frustrated with your own bullshit, and that's when you decide to grow. But when you're in the growth process, when you're growing and you fall back or you're not perfect, getting frustrated with yourself is counterintuitive because you're just spending time yelling at yourself over a mistake that it's kind of normal to make because you are a human being and you are growing and you're building something that sometimes we don't know how to build fully. Like mistakes are going to happen. In fact, they should, because mistakes are lessons and then you can build better from there. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, especially in these lows. That's how my healing has been. Like sometimes I feel really good, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel good, sometimes I don't. But before I know it, bitch, I'm here. I'm here. I'm up here. And once I'm up here, I've gone through this whole journey. I've climbed this huge mountain. My muscles are strong. I'm stable. I'm muscular. My mind is sharp. I know that if there's another dip, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. I've had so many dips before. I've climbed up so many times. You learn. Like this journey really sets you up for a bright and fulfilled future. You are training for a marathon. You are training for a fight. Your muscles are getting stronger. If you're training for something athletic, you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes your form is not going to be good. Sometimes you might hurt your back. So you might tear a muscle, a ligament, something. And then what do? You're like, oh, I shouldn't, my form needs to be this way, actually. Oh, yeah, like I lifted way too much. So then now what I was able to do, that's why I tore that ligament. Let me sit back, recover, and then start training again. Same fucking shit. Same shit. So take notes. I speak harshly sometimes or like a little aggressively because I just want people to really like wake the fuck up. Like, this is a really good life to live when you're good on the inside, when you're good with yourself. And I'm not, I know I said like I'm up here and I do consider myself being up here, but I feel like I could go higher, right? You can always go higher. You can always strive for more. And striving for more doesn't mean perfection because that's impossible. But to some extent, I do feel like there is a level of perfection that is achieved in certain things. Like this is a skill. Loving yourself is a skill. And it's never going to be perfected, but it's something that can be polished and made well. So practice it, question your beliefs, decide who you're going to be, decide what you want your identity to be. Like whatever you decide is probably what's closest to your heart. And it can be modified. Like there's really no pressure in being somebody and being this specific person. Like, yeah, you have to get specific and you have to decide, but I think we put too much pressure on ourselves on like committing to just one thing sometimes. Like, my values have fluctuated so much throughout my life, like a lot, a lot, a lot. And now, after growing and learning, making mistakes, tweaking things, now I feel more grounded because I tested things and I saw what worked and what didn't. And all throughout that journey, I knew that I was strong within myself and my identity, that I had certain values. And even though some values have changed, even though some actions have definitely changed, some beliefs, thank God, have changed, I always knew that at the core of it, I just wanted to get better and that I loved myself enough. And you don't have to do anything to be worthy of love and to be worthy of a happy life. Like we're not here for that long. We could die at any point. So why not take advantage of it? It's all about perspective. It really is all about perspective, and it's worth doing the unlearning of the bad things so you can grow with the good. It's really that simple. I have a coworker, his name's Enzo. Shout out to Enzo. He said something that like struck me. This man is like full of wisdom. He's like a fairy that's just like throws wisdom at you and good vibes. But he told me, life is good for those that have a sharp mind, tender heart, and thick skin. Like, tell me that's not fucking beautiful, bitch. Tell me that's not poetic. Life is good for the people that have sharp minds, a tender heart, and thick skin. Life is good for those that have a sharp mind, tender heart, and thick skin. So good. So good. So good. So, yeah, live by that. Live by that. Work on it. Be gentle with yourself. Be so fucking gentle and enjoy this process because you're already here when you used to be here. You're already here when you used to be here. It's okay. It's okay. Again, it's not about the destination, it's about how you feel on the inside. And really, the outcome that deserves attachment, the only outcome that really deserves attachment is that good feeling on the inside. And a healthy attachment, of course, because if we get frustrated that we're not there yet, it's going to sabotage everything, whatever. But I will say that the belief that I had that it was possible to feel the way that I do right now is what brought me where I am right now. I knew that it was there. I knew that it was somewhere. And I did the work and I am here. Like it's crazy. When I get triggered, because I still obviously get triggered. I think people get triggered for the rest of their lives. When I get triggered, the way that I return to baseline, the way that I'm like calm myself in the moment, like it's impressive now. Whereas 2023, 2024, a bitch was struggling. And I look back and I'm just like, oh, like I'm so proud of her because even though she did crash out in the wrong way, like she was still doing her best. She was trying so hard. And because of her, I'm here right now. Because of the struggles, because of the mistakes, because of not giving up is why I'm here and it's why I'm going to get further because like I said, I just walked in the door. I'm only telling you what I've learned so far. So far, there's so much more to learn. There's so much more to see. Like, I barely started putting in that work. I barely got in that flow state that I haven't had since I was like 13 years old. It's crazy. The flow state that I'm in right now is what I've been seeking for so long. And it came from cleaning up the shit. It came from cleaning up the mess. When you clean up is when you make room. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys got some value out of it. I'm really grateful for having a podcast, for having great friends, for living in this beautiful city. I love Los Angeles so fucking much. Like the city's really romanticized and it's kind of nasty. Like I see dead rats all the time, but what I romanticized about it was the hustle, was the drive, was the vision, was the dreams. And all of those things are real right here. There's so many people full of passion, full of creativity, full of love. So many people like that here. This is such an interesting city. Even the grimy parts are interesting. Like there's always something to see. And so I'm very grateful to live in this amazing, beautiful city. Very, very grateful. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.